Everybody in? Hello and welcome to the Wild Mama podcast. I am your host, Angel Rockwell, and today we are diving into the concept of simplicity. I'm going to share with you a beautiful moment that I had with my family just about a week ago. We took a vacation down through Washington and the Oregon coast, and I had one of those really crystal clear aha moments where this all made sense. So where this started from, and I will just share that with you now, let's just dive right in, is I was sitting in an RV, and my family was sleeping, my daughter, my son, both dogs, my husband, and the rain was falling. We were going to go chase a waterfall in Washington, and it was just so peaceful. It was so beautiful. It was serene. It was just...
I woke up.
It was still beautiful, peaceful, and serene. It was just one of those really pure moments when everything was just still. It was simple. And I found myself thinking, how can I continue to bring this home? It's often when we go on vacations and we take trips, it seems simple and it seems easier. We don't have all the responsibilities that we have at home. And then we come home and often it's this jarring, now I'm home and I have all of these things to tend to, and it can be very overwhelming. And we were only a couple of days into our vacation, and I pulled out my journal and I started writing. How can I possibly keep this feeling of simplicity, pure, beautiful, simple presence in this moment? How can I bring this home with me? So as I was writing, this is what came through to me, and it's been such a powerful, really profoundly transformative in such a short amount of time realization for me. So I'm going to walk you through it the best way that I can, and I trust that you've landed here for a reason and there's something here for you. Your aha may not entirely be mine. However, what I used to understand simplicity as was more of a process of simplification. And maybe you've heard other people speak about this, or you've done work with this. I want to simplify things. How do I simplify my home life in how I make meals for my children? Maybe you're doing meal prep. How do I simplify my schedule? Maybe you're taking some things. It's not quite nap time. Maybe you're doing a purge of your closet. You're simplifying your wardrobe. You're simplifying your schedule. It tends to be, in my experience, how I've moved through how to simplify. What is simplification? It's a process of decluttering. It's a process of purging. It's a process of doing something to make something larger less. This is how I have experienced it. If this is resonating with you, just pop a little comment in below. Yes, I feel this as well. Underlying this is a foundational point as well, where I feel... Oren, please not now, my love.
No! He's hitting me.
Underneath this as well is a foundational concept that we have just been taught for so long and so deeply conditioned to believe that we have to do things, we have to do something to get something. We have to do something to have something. The cause and effect. If I do this, then I'm going to have that. If I get rid of this, then I'm going to have that. It's the doing. And there is truth in this, of course, and deeper than that is where we're going here with the simplification. Now, simplification sounds really lovely, and inside motherhood, where we're bringing this home to, is it generally seems quite challenging and almost impossible to most mamas out there to feel like you can simplify things. It's the chaos. I hear this all the time. Well, the chaos of motherhood, all the chaos. When there's kids, there's chaos. You bring more mamas, more kids, there's more chaos. It's just always chaos. There's a big old hot mess. And we can reframe that perspective as well. And this little piece of simplification, how to simplify, is so powerful. It was one of those things, one of those moments, let me clarify, a moment when I was just writing, I was journaling, and the words just came through my hand, and when it landed in my body and flowed through me onto paper, it just felt truth. It is truth for me. And I share this with you because if it can be truth for me, it can be truth for you, and it's just been so it's still, I'm marveling at how this has shifted. So let me share with you exactly what it is that I'm talking about. So rather than a process of simplification, saying, okay, like my life's too complicated, I got to get rid of some stuff. Because if there's too much, I want less. Rather than that, to simplification, it's not a process of elimination. It's not a process of anything. It doesn't require you to do anything. Simplification is simply just a state of being. To choose to be simplified. To choose to do things simply. The more I say that word, it starts to sound almost funny. Join me in that. Am I saying it too much? We live a simple life. You may hear people say that. And when that phrase is used, we live a simple life, it's often mom's at home, there's not a lot of busyness, not driving the kids to and from everywhere. It's simple, meaning less, basic, just the bare minimum. Now, in my life, excuse me, I don't want to settle just for what's adequate. I don't want to settle just for what's just enough. Like me and my family, we're all about abundance. The theme literally that we're going for our garden this year is wild abundance. I planted everything. Things are growing like crazy. Stay tuned. I'm going to be sharing more with you about what I'm growing in there and how you can actually heal and nourish your family with it. Side note, back to the point. To live a simple life, to have the freedom and the ease of what's simple, say when we go on vacation and everything's simple, we don't have all of the responsibilities, we don't have all of the things, it's more simple here in this little vacation bubble, as I experience this for myself. It doesn't have to just be left there. We can bring this here. And it was this piece, that simplification is not a process, it's a state of being. And that's just a choice. And that's so beautiful, because when it's just a simple choice, you can make that in any given moment, at any time, as many times a day as you want to. And this is what I've chosen to do with this. Message received, written through the pen, onto paper. It flowed so beautifully. It felt so good for me. How would this transform your life? Say, I would love to live a simple life. I would love for things to be simple. Maybe the word simple is not resonating. I'm just getting this through now. Maybe easy. I want things to be easier. So this concept shift, this perspective shift, this different lens we can just choose for ourselves, is that simplification is easy. When things are simple, it's easy. I can see what's right in front of me, I can feel what's here. It's just simple. It's right here. It's simple, it's beautiful, it's easy. So let's try this on. Let me know in the comments if you're willing. Are you willing to try on simplification being a state of being and rather than a process? There's nothing you need to do here. Just one simple choice. Are you willing to? And do you want to? Do you want to try it on? Do you want to try on simplification is just the way I choose to do this today? So this is how now. Okay, sure, Angel, I'm willing to give this a try. This sounds wonderful. What does this look like? How do I actually choose this? Because we have these moments and maybe you're having this amazing realization. Oh, this sounds so good, but what does it look like? I wasn't sure either, because I was on vacation and I was in the front seat of an RV with beautiful rain pitter-pattering down on it. It was peaceful, it was beautiful, there was sun shining through the clouds, everybody was sleeping, it was peaceful and still. And that's not always the way life is. Usually I have those moments of stillness when my family is sleeping, when it's dark outside. So the fact that the sun was shining and it was the middle of the day was a rarity for me as well. And I embraced it, and this is what happened. So how this has looked for me so far is continuing to have that conscious choice, is remembering that feeling of truth. This landed, oh my God, this is real. This is real, this is true, I can step into this, I can embody this. Okay, simplification is a state of being. Simple. Just try that on. That's where you start. Say, okay, I believe this. I know this in my body. My brain's fighting it a little bit. That's okay. I'm going to feel into my body and just trust. This is my new way of being. I choose simplification of everything. And simplification, little Cole's note underneath that, simplification does not mean less. Simplification leads me to more. To simplify leads us to more of everything that we want. So there is a filtration that goes on with this, as I've experienced already, that my plate of things to do when I came home hasn't changed at all. but the way I feel about it does, because I'm standing on a foundation of simplification, being a state of being who I am, rather than another thing that I need to do. That's a beautiful piece right there as well. So the choosing, just trying this on and reminding yourself, when you wake up, I'm choosing simplification as a state of being for myself today. You're going to notice from that point that your choices are different. You're thinking different thoughts. You're standing on new ground. So the thoughts that you think are going to be different. Like I said, I've had this experience, come back from vacation, and all of a sudden you go, oh my God, everything, there's just so many things. And interestingly enough, the day that we arrived home, I was so ready to try this on and just embody the simplification. And I was kind of just puttering around, barely had my eyes open. My daughter's coming inside, just saying, oh, the garden looks this, the garden looks that, oh, this is growing, the strawberries are in. We got in late, so it was dark in the backyard. We couldn't see how our yard had bloomed while we were away. And then I'm like saying, yes, this is all great, baby, so good. And then she says, Mommy, I think something's wrong. Mary Brown, our chicken, hasn't come out of the coop. I see her foot. I think she's unconscious. So unfortunately, we started off our day with losing one of our favorite chickens. Just her time to go. And that just it wasn't it wasn't the way we planned the day to go. So it shifted a whole bunch of things, and we added more onto our plate, including a beautiful ritual for Mary Brown, and then we ended up getting 4 more chickens, and it was just, the day got more complicated. The day got more full. It didn't get complicated. It went actually very smoothly. At the end of the day, I found myself thinking, oh my goodness, how did this all go so smoothly? And of course I remembered this was a choice I made on the 15th of June. I'll always remember, because it was the day after my 40th birthday on a beautiful Saturday in Silver Falls State Park in Washington. And I chose to embody simplification as a way of being, knowing that that's truly who I am. And the choices that I made, it made it really easy. The biggest piece, and I was pondering this morning, because I've had such profound change in the way I feel and the way I'm perceiving my life. What is the biggest piece? And this is the biggest piece for me. And I do believe it can be the biggest piece for you as well. This knowing, this piece of truth, that simplification is a state of being, not a process, not something to do, has allowed me to just put overwhelm to the side. Maybe I've sent it to the stars. I'm not sure where it's gone, but it's not here with me. I know coming back home after time away can be very overwhelming. All of a sudden there's a list of things to do with the extra list of things to do, and then more things seem to pile on, and it's overwhelming, and then I just feel, oh my God, I don't have time to do all of this stuff. It's too much. Gotta simplify things. So choosing to simplify internally. This is just, I'm choosing to live a simplified life, to have things be simple, to have things be clear. In living an embodied, simplified life, it's easy. Everything is clear. Everything is crystal clear, one step at a time. I just haven't moved into overwhelm once, because I continue to remind myself from this physical integration that this is truth, and my many things to do are simple. It's not complicated. It's no longer overwhelming. This possibility is here for you too. The potentiality of taking this process of simplification and saying, no, that I was taught that this is how things are, but that doesn't feel right for me. I'm going to toss that away. I'm going to try this on. I'm going to choose. Simplification is a state of being. Choose that for yourself today. Even just try it on. Try it on for a day or two and see what happens. See what unfolds for you. Because what has unfolded for me is a beautiful few days of accomplishing a great deal here at home, adding more things onto what we did as a family over the last few days since we've returned home. And none of it was overwhelming. None of it was stressful. I have sat on this couch and snuggled with my children, and sat outside on our outdoor furniture and snuggled with my children, and just I've sat at my kitchen table and I've eaten more meals. All of the things of just, I want to sit down. I want to be in this moment more deeply, more presently. I want to nourish myself in these moments so much more than I have before. All of these moments with my children, with my husband, in our marriage, the conversations that we're having, the time that we seem to miraculously have to have these conversations, our sex life, the moments that we're intimately and passionately having together, there's miraculously more time for me and for us as a family to really enjoy and indulge in the experiences that we want. And I didn't plan for any of this to happen. I just, again, had a moment. I seized an opportunity when my family was sleeping to sit down and journal and open myself up to receiving more. And this is what I received, and I share this with you because there is beautiful golden gifts inside of this for all of us. There's not anything more that we really need to do, and so much more that we get to be. We really choose it. Not here saying, okay, like, I like what she's saying. This sounds good. I'm going to try it on. You may not have the same kind of success. Like, be with this. Go back and listen to this again. If you're feeling that little nudge saying, like, I feel something here, but I don't really understand it. Don't worry about that. You don't need to understand it with your brain. It's the feeling in the body. When truth lands in you, feel it. Don't try to overthink it. Just go with it. Just go with the knowing that this truth is available here for you. That you can live a simple life, and it can be abundantly wild and free and deliver to you everything that you have ever wanted in ways that you didn't even plan on at all, because the universe is so beautiful and divine that way. I really look forward to hearing from you guys how this lands. Please share in the comments, reach out to me. I'd really love to know how this has landed with you. And it was June 15th that this truth landed with me. It's now the 24th of June, so it's been 9 days. We've only been home for a handful of those, and even the time that we had on vacation, it was just next level. It was just next level. There was no stress. There was no overwhelm. We were all in a tiny little RV. You know, great to have time with my husband, but he's generally at work during the day, and we're not that close, that tight in all of that time together. And it was beautiful. And I could feel myself moving differently. I could feel myself moving slower. I had these moments of feeling just the energy between us, my husband and my children, and even the dogs, of just these draws, these moments of desire, of like, oh, I want to hug you, I want to snuggle you, I want to do this. When we simplify our lives through this deep embodiment, we open up so much space to really feel what's here. And that's why we're here, to feel these moments, to have joy and to have bliss. And even in the moment when my daughter lost her favorite chicken, oh God, I dreaded that day so much because she's her favorite. And we cried so much together that day. And I held her so deeply, and an older version of me, even like June 13th version of me, would have tried to explain things to her and would have tried to console her and say all the right things, and I didn't. I felt that there was more there for us, and I sat on the concrete patio in the back and I held her, and we cried together. And she let all this out, and her emotions flowed so beautifully, and I was there for her more deeply than I ever could have been had I not been open to receiving this. And I could go on and on and on and on and on, honestly, with all of the moments that have been just so pure and so beautiful. So simplification, how to live a simple life, how to simplify motherhood, how to allow things to be easier, is to embrace, to try this on. You are the simplification. There's nothing to do except to allow yourself to be open to receive this truth and integrate this into your life. It's been so profoundly beautiful for me, and I just know that this is something that I'm going to be adding into my foundational pillars of who I am, what I am here to guide women and mothers through in their motherhood. It's just so it's so beautiful. It's so miraculous. There's been so many miracles. Okay, that little last 10-inch was an extra bonus for you. Okay, if you're new to my world and you want to stay in it, please do. Go ahead and like this video. Follow me here on YouTube. If you're listening here on Spotify, go check me out on YouTube. There's going to be so much more goodness that you're going to be able to access there as well. links in the description down below for you to join into my free Wild Mama community, which includes a live conversation called The Conversation, where we mothers in space with our children, mine are outside right now, but they're here. I am fundamentally always taking a stand for mothers being in space with their children. The Conversation is a beautiful space online. We come together, we chat, we talk about things we can rise together through motherhood. Conversations just like this, that we can come together through awakened conversation, awaken ourselves more, broaden our awareness, become more of who we came here to be, and really enjoy life more. You get access to that. You get access to my free Facebook community, as well as a weekly newsletter with tons of just beautiful goodies. More of me in your space. If you want me, that's the best place to find me. We also have the Wild Mama membership called Sacred Circle, where I offer monthly masterclasses. There's a monthly giveaway for a one-on-one with me. You get a vault of masterclasses that are really just so foundationally, what's the word I'm looking for? Perfected and curated for you to rise in your own personal and spiritual growth inside motherhood, as well as there's so much more stuff in there, all past conversations. I do live activation meditations as well, which you also get access to in the platform. So there's so much good stuff in there. And what else? Oh, moon circles. I do moon circles every 6 weeks, and those are available inside the Wild Mama membership as well. Sacred Circle is free for 30 days, and there's a link in the description. You can get that free trial for 30 days. It's only $11 per month after that, which is just a beautiful gift. So check out those links. You can follow me on Instagram if you're thinking, I don't know, that sounds like too much, just want to stay in our world. You can follow me on Instagram as well. I do show up there from time to time. And YouTube here is the best place to just have full access to everything Wild Mama. Again, my name is Angel Rockwell. I am the Wild Mama, founder of the Wild Mama. These are my beautiful babies. They're coming back to say goodbye for the day.
Bye 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 bye. Bye 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 bye.
That is good. You guys have a beautiful day. Thank you again. Don't forget to like this video. Drop your comments how this landed with you. Subscribe to this channel for all the goodness. The Wild Mama podcast is just one piece of this channel. I'm going to be bringing in as well more of my naturals in what we're gardening, how I use herbal remedies and plant spirit medicine to heal and nourish my family. Stay tuned for all those good things. Again, thank you so much for being here. Look forward to connecting with you more. See your little hands.
Bye. Bye 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 bye.